A director's death rocks Tinseltown. This is one of the biggest murder mysteries in Hollywood history. The invention that got the world rolling.
He had reinvented travel. He was ecstatic about this idea.
And the real story behind a biblical miracle.
There may be more truth to the story of Moses parting the Red Sea than people realize.
These are the mysteries at the museum.
An 18th century loom. Silver cups crafted by Paul Revere in the 1760s. And a portrait of George Washington by Gilbert Stuart are just some of the historic items on display at the Winterthur Museum, Garden and Library in Winterthur, Delaware. Celebrating the heritage of American craftsmanship, the collection contains more than 90,000 artifacts from the country's earliest years. But one object honors a more recent era, the golden age of Hollywood.
The artifact is made of cardstock and has colorful illustrations on it. We see a young woman, rosy cheeks, bright eyes, and she's carrying a tennis racket.
This paper doll depicts an infamous actress who had a starring role in a crime that shook Tinseltown to its core.
This is one of the biggest murder mysteries in Hollywood history.
It's February 2nd, 1922, Los Angeles. At 7:30 in the morning, a chauffeur arrives at the bungalow belonging to 49-year-old film director William Desmond Taylor.
In the early 1920s, William Desmond Taylor was one of Hollywood's most successful directors of silent films. He was respected by pretty much everybody in Hollywood.
But when the driver enters Taylor's house, he makes a gruesome discovery. The director is lying dead on the living room floor.
Taylor was found face down with a bullet hole to his back.
The chauffeur calls the police, who rush to the scene. Leading the investigation is Detective Edgar C. King.
Ed King is hardworking and he was well educated. He was willing to do anything to solve a case.
Although the murder weapon is not found, the police determine Taylor was likely shot with a .38 caliber revolver. But the motive for the killing remains a mystery. A search of Taylor's body reveals that the dead man is still wearing his watch and a 2-carat diamond ring.
All of these clues lead Detective King to believe that this was not a botched robbery.
King's team combs the house for clues. The doors and windows show no signs of forced entry, suggesting Taylor let the killer into his house willingly. Then, during the search of Taylor's bedroom, the cops find something that could point to a suspect.
They find some lingerie and they find a handkerchief with the initials MMM.
The initials are immediately recognizable. They belong to a popular young actress named Mary Miles Minter.
Mary was not only beautiful and vivacious, but she starred in 50 silent movies, many of them directed by William Desmond Taylor.
The starlet is so famous, paper dolls are made in her likeness, just like this one on display at the Winterthur Museum, Garden and Library in Delaware. It's rumored that Minter and Taylor were having an affair. King theorizes that perhaps a lover's quarrel got out of hand, and that Minter shot Taylor in the back.
Detective King now has a suspect he can focus on, Minter.
So, did a young Hollywood star really shoot her director?
It's 1922 in Los Angeles. Popular film director William Desmond Taylor has been found dead in his home, shot in the back. Police have discovered a vital clue, a nightgown belonging to the famous actress Mary Miles Minter. So is this young starlet behind a Hollywood homicide?
Detective King brings Mary Miles Minter in for questioning. But the actress has a rock-solid alibi. She says that on the night of the murder, she was resting at home with her family. Unable to connect Minter to the crime, the case goes cold.
There is no murder weapon, there is no eyewitness, no forced entry. Detective King feels like he's at a dead end.
Although police never arrest Minter, her reputation is tarnished by the scandal, and she gives up her movie career in 1923. And William Desmond Taylor's death goes down in history as a beguiling piece of Tinseltown lore.
Over the years, the murder of Taylor becomes one of Hollywood's biggest unsolved murder mysteries.
Then, in 2014, a crime writer named William J. Mann is researching a book about William Desmond Taylor when he makes an intriguing discovery. It turns out that William Desmond Taylor was leading a double life. He had a family back east that he had abandoned when he moved to LA 14 years earlier. As Taylor rose to fame, he kept the truth about his family a secret. Mann theorizes that word of the director's murky past leaked out, and that he was being blackmailed by a criminal gang who threatened to expose the truth. Mann suspects that when Taylor refused to pay up, he was murdered.
It's possible that they killed Taylor in some kind of bungled attempt to blackmail him.
When Mann publishes his book and describes his tantalizing theory, it reignites interest in the case.
The murder of William Desmond Taylor to this day remains one of Hollywood's biggest unsolved murder mysteries.
Today, this paper doll of Mary Miles Minter is on display at the Winterthur Museum, Garden and Library in Winterthur, Delaware. It recalls the young actress who was miscast in the lead of an infamous Hollywood murder mystery.